students who are watching our videos to learn maths, physics, and chemistry. Today we are going to discuss about the topic mole concepts for class 10th ICSE board, and we will do numericals on that. So let us first understand when we say 1 mole, what does that mean? So of 1 mole is a measuring unit. Like for 1 dozen you get 12 items. So 1 mole is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of that. So like 1 dozen apple would mean 12 apples. So 1 mole of apple would mean 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 apples, which is a very, very big number. Okay. Now we will now see that what is 1 mole equal to. So 1 in terms of number I already told you. So if I am referring to numbers, I will say 1 mole equals 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of particle. Okay, number of particles. Now these particles can be anything, atom, molecule, or ion. 1 mole is also equal to, in terms of weight, 1 mole is equal to gram molecular weight or gram atomic weight. Okay, gram atomic weight. In terms of weight, it is equal to that. And 1 mole of a gas would mean 22.4 liter or dm cube or 22,400 centimeter cube of volume. Okay. So this is 1 mole. Yeah. Now we just have to keep this thing in mind. Like let us say I want to know about oxygen. Okay. We know oxygen is a gas, diatomic gas, so it is O2. So when we are discussing about 1 mole of O2, so what would that mean? It would mean 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of oxygen, okay, which is O2. Okay. Now, in terms of weight, 1 mole of oxygen would weigh what? So we know that the atomic weight of oxygen is 16 and O2 consists of 2 atoms of oxygen. So weight would be 2 times 16, which is 32. So this is 32 grams. And 1 mole of oxygen is going to occupy 22.4 liters of space, or its volume would be 22.4 liter. So all of these things are related with each other, and we are starting with 1 mole for everything. Now we'll keep this thing in mind and solve some numericals. Also, before I move on to the questions, understand if we are asked how many oxygen atoms are there, how many oxygen atoms in 1 mole of oxygen, which is O2. Okay. So see, O2 has how many atoms? It has got 2 atoms of oxygen. Okay. So that means how many, now are we are asked numbers. So what will be our answer? The answer would be, there would be 2 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of oxygen. Okay. Which is just O. Yeah. So now let us move to the questions. Here, the first question says find the mass of 2.8 liters of CO2. Now understand that 1 mole of CO2, okay, if I have 1 mole of CO2, what would be its mass? So let us find its weight. Its weight would be, for carbon we are given 12 and O2 will be 32. So 1 mole of carbon dioxide would weigh 44 grams. Okay. And what is the volume occupied by carbon dioxide? If it is 1 mole, it would be 22.4 liters. So now we are asked, what if we have got 2.8 liters of carbon dioxide and they are asking the mass? So we will just make a relationship between weight and volume, and it's a direct proportion. So 44 by x equals 22.4 4 by 2.8. Okay. So this is how we will solve. Yeah. So now see what will happen. So we can see that this is x. So we will have 22.4x, which is equal to 2.8 into 44. So x, which is the mass of 2.8 liters of carbon dioxide. So it should be 2.8 into 44 by 22.4. So many grams would be the answer. Okay. So if you solve this, the answer is going to be 5.5 grams. Okay. So again, understand what are we doing? We are finding the relationship between mass and liters. So which is weight and volume, and just doing direct proportion. Okay. What is direct proportion? So if there are two quantities x and y, so direct proportion says x1 by y1 should be equal to x2 by y2, or we can also say x1 by x2 equals y1 by y2. So that is direct proportion. This, we do in class 8 maths. So that is the concept which we are going to utilize in these questions. Now let us move to the next question. It is asking us to find the volume occupied by 53.5 grams of Cl2. Again, our base is what? 1 mole. So let us find out 1 mole of Cl2. What would be its weight and what is the volume it occupies? 1 mole of Cl2. Now Cl is 35.5. So Cl2 mass would be 35.5 times 2. And 1 mole of Cl2 will occupy a volume of 22.4 liters. Okay. Now we are asked that if there is 53.5 grams of Cl2, what is the volume? Again, we are just going to do direct proportion. So 35.5 into 2 is a 71, x goes there. So 71 times x is equal to 22.4 into 53.5, and x equals 22.4 into 53.5 over 71. Okay. Again, what have we done? We are just using direct proportion and getting the answer. So this will give us the volume of 53.5 grams of Cl2. And if we solve this, the answer would be some 16.8 liters. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. It says find the number of molecules in 109.5 grams of HCl. Okay. Find the number. Okay, let us go to the next page. So we are asked to find number of molecules in 109.5 grams of HCl. So first let us figure out that if there is 1 mole of HCl, okay, so what is its weight? Because they are asking us for weight. So 1 mole of HCl. So H is 1, chlorine is 35.5. If you look here, they have given you the weights. So that would be 36.5. And 1 mole of HCl, what would be the number of molecules there? Now, number of molecules is what? It is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, which means 1 mole of HCl weighing 36.5 grams should have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 number of molecules of HCl. Now, the question says if we have 109.5 grams of HCl, find the number of molecules. So we just do direct proportion again. Okay, so this is 1 times, this is 3 times. So x goes there. X equals 3 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, and that is the answer, that there would be 3 into 6.023 into 10 to the power